as far as I'm concerned, the Electoral Act was designed in such a way that democracy would have played a very good role. But unfortunately, for the selfish interest of most of our big politicians, they went and maneuvered the initial submission of the National Assembly, which was in the area, for instance, of the primaries. We requested that primaries should be done directly. Directly meaning that every card-carrying member will be able to vote for a candidate of his choice. But unfortunately, it was turned around. The issue of direct was removed, and it was left with delegates. For instance, for a member of a House of Representatives who comes from my constituency, will only need about 160 votes just to give him the ticket of the party, instead of allowing over 900 people to do it. So you see, in my own opinion, that is not a true democracy. And eventually, that will pave way for the big shots, to discredit the whole primaries by now making sure that whoever is their candidate is the one that wins the election. So I think it was not to the best interest of democracy as far as what has been passed into law is concerned. Well, actually in the process, one can say we have done well. But our major problem is the leadership. The democracy, the process and procedures of bringing out leaders. We can say as people who have just started or who are still learning, we are doing well. But in the actual sense, the leaders are not doing what they're supposed to do. That is to say, we have not yet reached a level where you see that a leader will do things without looking at his religion, without looking at his ethnicity, where he comes from, without looking at his zone. And actually comparing the years we stayed so far in democracy, we're supposed to have learned this at this level. So I think it has done well, but we still have a lot to do.
My heart is hardly helpless. Find myself so desperate.
Well, you see, in my own opinion, the religion is not what matters, but the personality of whom you are bringing.
Right.
From the primaries that just happened last week, you know that to some level, sometimes the religion issue does not work. Otherwise, Tunde Bakari would have won a lot of votes being a pastor, but virtually he couldn't get even one vote. And there are a lot of Christians who were delegates there. What we are saying, looking at the critical situation this country is into now today, we are to look at personalities who are credible, who have the country at heart, who have the feelings of the common people in this country. Because if you look at Nigeria today, north, east, and south, there is nowhere where peace is reigning.
Right.
Every zone has its own peculiarity of problems, ranging from banditry, killing of innocent people, Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, and what have you. So, for any right-thinking Nigerian now, what we need are leaders who will have focus, who understand actually the problem of this country, who can find a lasting solution. In my own opinion, this issue of ethnicity, religious issue, differences, we should have to remove it from our hearts before we progress.
Hold on to every garment, won't surrender, not tonight.
Here you see APC is on ground in the northern part of this country. We have at least 12 to 13 governors, I think, who are APC governors. And I think there is nothing secret about the fact that governors of each state in this country of today determine who wins or which party wins the states, unless if such governor have performed so low that he doesn't have the control of the state.
Right.
So for Bola Tinubu to win northern part of this country, I think it's very easy for him because the governors in the north have done well, I can see, and they are in control. And I don't think with all the happenings, the suffering, I don't think they cannot be able to maybe direct their people to do what they want them to do. So Bola Tinubu contest or presidential ambition, as far as northern part is concerned, I don't think he will have problem.
Okay.
Yes. You know, I don't believe in that, and I never heard of it. But what I know in politics, immediately primaries are over, or is over, you find a lot of migration.
Right.
Because a lot of people are not happy with what they saw during the primaries. So eventually, you cannot rule out people going from one party to another. And some may deliberately remain in their party and do what we call anti-party. After having the trust in them, they now betray the party. It happens. And this is not because of whether Tinubu is contesting or Atiku is contesting. It's always constant in politics. After every primaries, I'm very much aware that there must be this political migration from one party to another. And some people might naturally be offended, maybe because they did not get what they want, or they feel they were being betrayed, and they will have the right to do what they feel is right for them. So, but I don't think there is any grand coordinated, arrangement for such thing you are saying. Because what people fail to understand, no matter the hardship, no matter the difficulty, you look at politicians very well, you find that they respect their parties, irrespective of whoever is their candidate. When it comes to general election, they go by their parties.